morning, Yearlin. This is your sewer scope from today's evaluation, this morning's evaluation. There's the floor flange for the toilet that the plumber was nice enough to pull off for me. We're in ABS pipe, so it's a black plastic pipe. Typical. We'll stay in this for 50 or so feet. Plastic pipe like ABS and PVC, which we'll transition to at about 50 feet, is very smooth walled. It tends not to grab onto anything, matter, paper products, anything like that. So it tends to be generally fairly clear as you're pushing through. There's a fair amount of twists and turns in the early stages of the pipe. That's normal in a townhouse or side-by-side home cul-de-sac area as well. So nothing to worry about there. The water on the top of your screen, that's obviously the bottom of the pipe. Use that as your reference point. The camera head will twist and turn as it goes through. All the connections look good in the ABS. I don't have any concerns with that. Here we transition to white polyvinyl chloride pipe, PVC. This also looks very, very good. I had really high hopes for this pipe. I mean, I thought everything was relatively smooth sailing, and figured that we would stay PVC all the way out to the city connection. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We'll keep pushing along for about another 50 feet here. Again, smooth walled. We're not holding any water. I did run some water prior to doing the sewer cam. And the plumber did flush and drain the toilet before he pulled it, right before I started doing the sewer camera. So we're not holding any water in any of these sections. Everything is flowing properly and freely. It's always kind of questionable when you're living in a house that hasn't been occupied for a while. Running the dishwasher or showers or baths tends to move stuff like that up ahead along and gets it cleared out and out of the way. Just for the simple fact that you've got a higher volume of water pushing through the pipe. I'm at this point getting up. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to turn the tub on, flush the toilet, turn some fixtures on just to clear that out so I don't have to push over it, which would not be good. Probably lead to not a very clear picture. So at this point, we're coming around a bend, and we'll transition very shortly to cast iron. At that point, the cast iron is holding water. So there is some drainage, but it's not draining the way it's supposed to be. It's definitely holding water. You'll see once the big rush of water gets past that the water is to a certain degree stagnant. I mean, it is draining a little bit, but not to the level that we want. The other thing is that there's a fair amount of buildup and calcification on the joints. There's some scaling on the cast iron as well. So now that we've got that cleared out, once I get back down, I'll let the water die down a little bit, and then I'll push forward. Give me a second here. So at this point we're underwater, so the pipe is partially filled. The diameter of the camera head is not the same diameter as the inside of the pipe. Camera head diameter is roughly an inch and a half or so, inch and three quarters. Um, I would imagine that the pipe is probably at least half, maybe three quarters of the way filled with water, but that'll start to alleviate a little bit. Let's see, I'll pull back here in just a little bit. Right now we're about 120 feet out. Okay, so at this point we're in cast iron. Water is flowing a little bit. Again, it's not draining as well as we want. We'll get a better picture here in just a sec. You can kind of just barely make out at, let's say, I don't know, like 2 o'clock on the camera, just up ahead. That's a joint likely in the connection between two sections of pipe. That basically it's growing, it's calcifying, or there's buildup along that joint. That's keeping my camera from being able to push past it. So ultimately, as you read through the reports, basically what I'm going to say is we need to clean the pipe out and then reevaluate it. Once it's clear, the hope is, one, there's not any damage, which I'm somewhat doubtful that there is. I think it's just buildup in the pipe. And two, you want to push out all the way to the end of the pipe so you can see the city connection, and again, just make sure that everything is flowing freely and the way it's supposed to. Again, at this point, I tried to get past that section right up ahead, but I could not push beyond it. And again, we're looking at maybe a little less than half the pipe holding water. It would probably over time drain away, but again, we're holding it enough where I would just recommend getting it clean and then be able to push beyond that to be able to see what the entire length of the pipe looks like. I'm going to keep the camera head rolling as I pull back. Feel free to watch the return journey if you'd like. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or if I could be of further assistance.